Welcome to my spoiler review for Halloween Kills. I did a non-spoiler review about 3 days ago on the channel here, and I figured by now the majority of you guys have seen the movie, whether it be on Peacock or in movie theaters, and I want to discuss some of the more like the actual intricacies of the storyline, what I liked and did not like. Because I gotta tell you, there's a lot of things about this movie I did not like. I feel like the 2018 Halloween movie, the one that became before this one in the Blumhouse series, I feel like that movie it didn't age too well, but after going back and like rewatching it, in my opinion, it's actually aged better than I thought it did. I mean, for a while it was like, whatever. Now I feel like it's actually a better movie. And this movie makes that one look even better. I thought it was really weird. And before we go any further, this review will contain spoilers. I thought it was very weird that it was cool seeing Tommy Doyle again, but it was weird that like the 40th anniversary of the Michael Myers arrest has like this group meeting up at a bar. Like that was weird. I get why they did it. I didn't hate that, but it was a bit forced. It's like they had to bring in more elements from that original movie. Laurie being out for most of the film, I thought was very unexpected. I thought that, with it being Jamie Lee Curtis coming back to play this character, you would think, hey, like she'll have a lot to do. She had nothing to do except pretty much wait there while other things happened. Tommy kind of became the big hero here, forming the mob to hunt down and kill Michael Myers. Now, the thing that's weird about this movie is there are a lot of logic holes. I didn't want to discuss this in my non-spoiler review because it's just, it would be too much information, right? So Tommy Doyle forms a mob to go down Haddonfield and hunt down and kill Michael Myers. And the mob doesn't have any guns, or at least not a lot of guns, not enough guns. Nobody has a rifle or anything, something a bit stronger, a shotgun. They didn't even involve the cops as much as they should have. This is Michael Myers. I am confused. I feel like this would have worked better if it took place actually in the 70s and, at some point in the past. But I feel like it taking place in the 2010s was an odd choice, but they had to do it. It's the anniversary. So the big controversy behind this movie is first of all, the idea of Tommy getting like hundreds of people after Michael Myers, and that was weird. But Michael Myers being unmasked, that's the big controversy. I think they showed a bit too much. You couldn't really clearly see his face, but you saw enough of his face to where I don't know, I just felt like it was unnecessary. It was ballsy though, I'm going to give them that. It was ballsy, and I was kind of hoping for an actual shot of Michael's face. And I don't think we're ever going to see it. So they kind of tease you with like not really seeing his face, but kind of seeing it. We didn't see anything here. When the mob attacks Michael at the end of the movie, and they're beating him down, I'm like, wow, this is pretty smart. Like, get a whole mob together and take this dude out. And yet, he like no-sells them, like hulks up like a freaking pro wrestler and just starts chopping them down one after another. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm just like, wait a minute. Michael Myers can take out 100+ people. How are they going to kill this guy? Now, I'm not going to criticize the movie too much on that because Halloween Ends is coming up, and Halloween Ends is the last part of this saga, and they have to have an ending already planned. Like the way that Halloween Kills went, Halloween Ends is going to have an ending already planned. I felt like the kills in this movie, it was quantity over quality. I said that, and I feel like that still applies. They weren't that creative. They were gory, they were brutal, don't get me wrong. All of that applies, but they weren't that creative. Now, that's a nitpick because you can make an argument. Some folks are going to love it. I liked the movie. I didn't love the movie. I liked it. It was a disappointment. Now, will my opinion change over time? Maybe, but I don't think I'm ever going to hate this movie. Like, I'm gonna hate some of the choices it made, but I'm never gonna truly hate this movie. Also, the whole like implying, that like the guy who was in the hospital with Laurie is like the father of her daughter. That was odd, honestly. That was it just felt like there was something missing from that story. Like there's more story there. And again, we might get it in Halloween Ends. The problem is that Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends were both kind of made around the same time. So the second half of the story has not been told yet. So for me to criticize it, it's difficult because there's still more to the story. But at the same time, as a movie, this movie felt, I don't know, it just felt very odd. Like there's parts of the movie that are totally dead, and then some parts that have like brutal kill after brutal kill after brutal kill, but it doesn't really go anywhere. It almost like stays in circles for a while. And the Tommy Doyle like gathering together the mob was so, I guess, forced. I don't know. It just something about it rubbed me the wrong way, and I'm having a hard time really explaining what that is. You know what I mean? A lot of the movie felt like it didn't go anywhere. And again, maybe when Halloween Ends comes out, excuse me, we'll get some answers. But it did, and it happens a lot when you have like two movies being shot together. You can have like half the story being left out for the third one, but it can leave a lot of viewers very confused. And I'm sure there are some who don't even know there's going to be another movie, and it's coming out next year. So the movie also has this like social commentary about how Michael Myers being a murderer has turned people into murderers, has made the mob go crazy because of Michael Myers. And two wrongs don't make a right. And it didn't really, I'm conflicted because the movie didn't actually preach that, but it felt through its story that it kind of hammered that point home a bit too much. Especially like Lee Brackett's character. Like, I know that Lee Brackett was going to shoot him and put an end to him, and then Michael came back, but just shoot the guy. Hurry up and shoot him. Why are you taking forever? Like, why weren't there multiple guys with guns? Like, come on. That was. They almost baby faced him in a weird way, right? And nowadays, with like the internet, you would think that this story of like a huge city, or not a huge city, but a town of mobsters would have somehow gotten out to the internet to where you'd have like the SWAT team show up or something. Like that's the weird thing. Like I said, the movie would have made more sense if it took place back in the day than now, because nowadays we have cameras everywhere. Everyone has a cell phone. Like it's very hard to do anything like this. It's very hard to do anything like this nowadays. Almost impossible, I would say. But there you go. I mean, they tried it. I don't think it worked for the movie, but I didn't hate the movie. Like I said, the kills are brutal. Michael Myers unmasked was a cool idea, but I wish they would have shown us more. And the movie just felt like very disconnected, I feel, and not as good as 2018 one. But still, I don't think it's a bad movie, man. I really don't think it's a bad movie. It's still worth seeing, and I wonder where they're going to go with the next one. So, what did you think about Halloween Kills? Spoilers allowed down below. What do you think about the whole, like, the lore of Michael and his home? Like, did you like that? Let me know, and we'll see what happens next year when Halloween Ends comes out.